Hi African Queen Mo channel visitors, friends, family. Karibuni, yet again we are here with another show with Mo on the go. How are you doing? Today is the eve of Sunday, the 29th of January, when we are expecting to have a mega event happening in Kenya. And at the same time, I'm getting ready for my church service tomorrow. Yeah, I told you guys I went back to church. But tomorrow is the eve of a very important day in Kenya. And as you know, you guys, we guys who are based in the diaspora, we're all concerned. We're talking, we are chatting, we are on phones, we are calling each other, we're WhatsApping, we're finding out what's happening to our brothers and sisters in Kenya. Hey, it's giving us a little bit of jitters over here, We are aware that tomorrow Raila Odinga and his team are organizing a rally, a major rally, and he said that it's going to continue until the current president, who he doesn't recognize as president anymore as of last week, resigns. Oh boy, as you know, there's a lot that has been happening over the past couple of weeks, and this is since the whistleblower revealed some information about the illegalities, or should I say alleged illegalities that went on during the August 9th elections last year. Well guys, it's not a very easy time for Kenyans. I'm aware about this. First of all, I was in Kenya until last year around September, and I only came back. I've only been here for like about maybe September, October, November, December, January, 4 or 5 months, yeah? And I'm already missing home. I'm based in Wales, Cardiff, and I'm here with my family. But I also live in Kenya. I live both countries. And I am so attached to Kenya because that is my homeland. That is the land which our ancestors fought for. That is where we were born. That is where I originate. That is where this melanated lady originates from. And she is very, very proud to be Kenyan. Yes, I do not even call myself Kenyan British or British Kenyan. It doesn't make no sense. No such thing. I'm an African Kenyan. Okay, born in the UK, living in the UK, but I'm African. Okay, and so anyway, I was just having a chat this afternoon with a couple of people, a friend, a relative who lives in the UK, and all of us are kind of concerned. Yes, but at the same time, we are aware about the difficulties that people are facing in Kenya. I've been also doing a bit of research to find out, what is the significance of the Jacaranda grounds where tomorrow's rally is going to be taking place. I know it's a significant place. It's a place where the Saba rallies took place. This is where Kenneth Matiba, basically started the multi-party campaign. The move from the single-party state that we used to have under President Moi into multi-party politics that was led by President Kibaki going forward. So we're hoping that perhaps maybe these grounds, which have been basically left, to be desolate and not even looked after at all, we hope that these grounds are going to have some significant impact that is going to be positive in our country. At the moment, we're aware that the current president, Ruto, is not very comfortable with this rally that's taking place tomorrow. And yes, him and his team are not very comfortable with this because it's basically the people protesting against what they consider to be an illegality that happened during the election last year and an unfair election process, which led to results which should not have been. Yeah, so the unexpected results of these elections are actually what has caused our country to end up the way we are. Do you know, you guys, if you think about it, let's be fair and ask ourselves, if it was you, all right, if it was you who felt that an injustice had been done and you had spent a lot of energy, effort, money, and a lot of your time and believed that, the process would be fair, what do you think would have happened to you if it was you in Raila's shoes? What would you be feeling? If it was you in Ruto's shoes, as you in Raila's shoes? There's no doubt about it that there's a lot that has been left covered. There's a lot that has been swept under the carpet. And we know that a lot of irregularities, a lot of gray areas exist. Especially when you look at the reaction of Kenyans after the election results were announced. It was quite amazing because in Mombasa, I hope I'm going to be able to find that clip, where actually the place was completely silent apart from a few motorbike riders, one of whom actually just fell down, was so excited, who came, flying down the road alone and ended up falling on his own in the middle of the road. This motorbike rider, was like, hey, they were so happy, that the current Kenya Kwanza team had won, and they came flying down, and then he actually fell by himself in the middle of the road, and he got up. I think he wanted to sue someone. He's like, hey, who dropped me here? And then he looked around and he realized, hey, he's just by himself. He fell by himself, so he picked up his motorbike and continued going, realizing that there's no way he's going to get any more money. Yeah. But basically, unfortunately, what seems to be going on right now is that Kenyans are really suffering. Kenyans have literally had enough. And as much as we would like to say, let life continue as usual, as much as we want to remain in our comfort zones, as much as we want peace and we want prosperity and we want economic stability in our countries, we also want justice and fairness. Yeah, because you see, accountability has to happen. People have to be accountable for their actions. Unfortunately, for every action, there is a corresponding reaction. For every action, there's an equal and opposite reaction. So this is the equal opposite reaction we are seeing that's going to happen tomorrow. So all I want to wish Kenyans is tomorrow, I wish you security. I wish you safety. I hope that the security operations, the security organs of our country are going to remember that human life is absolutely precious. Human life is actually something that you cannot replace, We are accountable for keeping everybody safe. In this country of the UK, protests happen. Right now, we have nurses who are protesting, poor pay. We have railway workers who are protesting as well, poor pay. They are picketing, they're protesting peacefully. Right now we have the nurses on strike, we have the doctors on strike, we have railway workers on strike. You'll never hear the government ever threaten anybody with insecurity or get so angry and emotional. There's nothing like emotionalness here, because it is people's democratic right to protest and to complain, and to express their feelings of maybe dissatisfaction with the government and hope that things are going to be changed, that the government will listen and make the changes that are needed for people to feel comfortable. Again, to live together peacefully in an amicable way. But we should not have a situation in Africa where it becomes impossible to protest or becomes unsafe to protest injustices or perceived injustices, whether or not they have occurred. So basically, I'd like to read you guys something that I found quite interesting on one of the social media sites. There's a gentleman called Thirigini, K-E, on Facebook, who gives several reasons why Kenyans should attend the Jacaranda rally. For those of you who are not on Facebook anymore, for those of you who are not on these social media sites anymore, or for those of you who have not read it, let me just read a couple of them to you. There are so many, they're like 23, but I'm going to read just a couple of them. He says, and these are his views, Kenyans have been left hopeless, humiliated, abused. Jacaranda will make voice be heard again, prove that we are not hopeless. Our lives have been worsened by the current president and his government. I will attend Jacaranda to end this. We have been treated to lies, humiliation, and ridicule. Attend Jacaranda to stand in solidarity with suffering Kenyans. We have been made to lose a sense of being Kenyans. Can we allow our country to go down? Attend Jacaranda rally tomorrow to reclaim this country. The current president has made Kenya a state for two communities who are more equal than the other 45 tribes in state appointments. Attend the rally to stop tribalism, basically, in Kenya. The cost of living is unbearable. We want our democracy back. I will go to Jacaranda to reclaim my freedom. The vice president is always spewing insults and spreading hate amongst Kenyans. We can't allow him to divide this country. Go to Jacaranda. Kenya is a cursed nation. I will attend Jacaranda to end this curse. I don't agree with him there. Kenya is not a cursed nation. Kenya is a very blessed nation, guys. All corruption cases have been withdrawn from courts. That's actually true. Kenya cannot be a corruption haven. That one is really true, guys. You know? Attend the Jacaranda rally to protect our resources. State capture is now worse than it used to be. Every institution has been taken hostage. People are living in fear. True, people are living in fear nowadays, you know. And so he says that we have to defend our institutions. He talks about the fact that he feels that Kenya is no longer safe. He feels that thieves are running the show and people are dying, you know. People are losing their lives. And therefore he feels that, you know, the president is not focusing on what he should be focusing on. He's busy globe-trotting, spending millions of shillings and while people are hungry. And then there's also the issue of the devolved county governments being denied adequate funds. Okay, so he continues on. Now these are his views, okay? So the disclaimer is these are not my views, these are his views. But I just thought to myself, why don't we, you know, read them out? And what do you think about these views? Are they correct? Do you, as a Kenyan, feel humiliated? Do you feel hopeless? Do you feel abused? Do you feel like the situation in the country has worsened? Do you feel insecure? Yeah? Do you feel that the country is being led unfairly? Do you feel that there's dominance by only 2 tribes? Do you feel that the representation of the country is unfair? Do you feel that the cost of living is unbearable? One thing I must admit is that while I was in Kenya, I noted that the cost of food was going up every day. You know what happened? After the elections, actually, there were so many promises that were made by the Kenya Kwanza government to the people, you know, to the regular people in the country. The first one was that, you know, the cost of basic foodstuffs was going to come down. And instead, it did not do that. In fact, it tripled. It like doubled or tripled. Yeah? The second thing was that the cost of petrol was supposed to come down. It didn't. It almost doubled. Yeah? Right now, the cost of energy, electricity has gone up. So basically, you know, what they had talked about is a bottoms-up approach. But actually, what has happened is that it's more like a top-down approach. We have a top-down approach to, a trickle-down approach to economics. Trickle-down approach means basically where the rich, you know, will get richer and hopefully the people at the bottom will eat the morsels from the rich. Yeah, basically for my economics, introduction to economics 101, that is my deduction, although it's not exactly accurate. Basically, the idea is that if we empower a few, those few will build the economy and the economy will trickle down to the rest of the society and the positive impacts will be felt. But in reality, what really happens is that the gap between the rich and the poor just widens and the rich get richer and they only end up with the morsels, the little bits, the crumbs from the king's table. Now, Kenyans have always been known to be extremely positive, extremely hardworking, extremely happy about their nation. Kenya is one of the happiest societies, one of the most positive societies. One of the reasons why I love being in Kenya is because it's a beautiful, happy society. But it's really sad to see that things have really changed quite a bit. A lot of Kenyans are feeling it. A lot of Kenyans are feeling very stressed out. Not a single day goes by before I received a request. I need money to send my child to school. Please help me. I need money for food. I need money for this. I need money for that. I never knew Kenyans to be beggars. I never knew Kenyans to be in this situation. You know, it takes a lot for a Kenyan to ask for help. And you know, I don't blame those Kenyans. I understand. Yeah, because when we're in this country, for example, Rishi Sunak, you know, the Prime Minister of this country, just said that there were like 15 million positions open in England, in the UK. 15 million jobs available in this country. Yeah, there are no workers in that my country of Kenya. There are no positions, there are no jobs. Guys, this is not right. This is not right. This is a global problem. It's a problem, yes. It's not just only, you know, one of the things that Kenyans need to understand is that this issue is not unique to Kenya. It's a global issue. Inequality, yeah, where the rich have too much and the poor have too little. It's a situation of malnutrition where we have kwashiorkor, with the poor and obesity with the rich. The rich are obese with too much. They have too much. And so they also have their own issues of illness. They have mental illness, they have emotional illness in this place because they have too much. Yeah? And in our countries, we have completely the opposite. We have physical illness because we don't have enough. People are not getting enough to eat. People are experiencing malnutrition. People are also experiencing mental health problems because of the fact that they're not able to provide for their families. Yeah? And so I think that the government of the day should be very, very understanding. It should be sympathetic with the people and understand that it's not the only government that is having a difficult time, okay, providing for its citizens. But on the other hand, the government must be seen to be on the side of the people. It should not be seen to be punitive. It should not be seen to be overtaxing people, okay? Taxing people to death, death by taxes. We don't want that, guys, Those of you in Kenya Kwanza government, you honestly should really reflect. This is your opportunity to reflect. It's your opportunity to stretch an olive branch to the other side. If you really love your country, this is the time now, to take a hold of the country. Tomorrow and all these rallies that are going to be taking place, I think that you should actually appeal to the conscience of Kenyans, and not by trying divisive politics, and not by shaming Kenyans, and not by trying to antagonize Kenyans against the Azimio team. The idea would be to actually sell your agenda, sell your manifesto, respond to the crisis that there is right now. Kenyans are crying. They are saying we cannot afford rent, we cannot afford food, we cannot afford school fees, we cannot afford bundles, we cannot afford internet, we cannot afford taxes, we cannot afford to do business. Come on, guys, you cannot create a situation like this and expect no reaction. There will be an equal and opposite reaction. Okay, if you squeeze people too much, this is exactly what's going to happen. So for me, what I want to say is this. Azimio team leaders, I would like you to actually reconsider tomorrow when you do have when you guys go and attend the rally and all that. I'd like you guys to do more listening than talking. Listen hard to the leaders, okay? And try to see how we can find a solution that would not require us to dismantle our country. Because when you dismantle what has been built over many, many years, it's very difficult to rebuild it. Yeah? So as much as I am in a complete agreement that Kenyans have a right to protest, they have a right to, the democratic right to express dissatisfaction with the current government. They have every right to protest and to peacefully protest. I also disagree with the whole idea of any sort of violence. Any sort of violence that will put anybody under risk, I think, should be completely dissuaded as much as possible. Because the whole idea is to actually have a mature discussion, a mature approach, okay, to democracy. And I believe that we can do this because we are Kenyans. We are Kenyans and we are mature and we are very patient. I believe Kenyans have already been extremely patient so far. So guys, I just wish you a good Sunday tomorrow. I hope for those of you who are going to be going to church, I wish you a good Sunday. For those of you who are going to be going to the rally grounds in Jacaranda, I wish you a safe Sunday. And I also wish all the leaders on both sides, okay, peace, stretch an olive branch as much as possible to one another, okay? Express your dissatisfaction the way that people express their dissatisfaction in the West. But please avoid at all costs any sort of violence, because violence only begets violence and it will not help anybody in the long run. We have taken so long to build our country. We do not want to unbuild it in the process. All we want to do is to improve our living standards, our living conditions, and make it possible to be Kenyan and to be happy in Kenya with a good quality of life. And on that note, I wish you a lovely day tomorrow. I wish you a lovely day on this Sunday, and thank you so much for listening to me. Thank you so much, new subscribers. Please take time to thumbs up this video if you enjoyed it. Give it a like, and thank you so much for listening. Be blessed and have a great week. Toodles. Bye-bye.